Well, go on, everybody. Lennox here from Simple 123 Trader. This is the weekly playbook outlook for Sunday, February 21st to Friday, February 26th. Hope everybody's doing well and are safe. I'm going to take a look at all of the futures and let's see what's setting up for this week. I'll start off with the Australian dollar. I'm on the weekly time frame, and right now we are very close to the top of this move. There's still a bit of room, and so this will depend on what the US dollar does coming up in the week. So right now we're very, very close to a pinnacle, but we could still have one more push left in. So maybe a small pullback, but we still have possibility of one more push to the upside. That's if the US dollar falls. Okay, so let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin on the weekly, very strong push. I was calling for 60,000 on Bitcoin, and it's 58.6 is the high. It too might be ready for a turnaround. So it might be a little bit more pushed up to the 60,000 kind of, sentimental number, and then that all bets are off after that. Okay, taking a look at crude oil. Crude oil also, go back to crude oil. Crude oil also has had quite a push to the upside, and especially from last week with all the record-setting cold in the south. But it too might be ready for a pullback this week. So looking like that's what's setting up for this week, some weakness in crude oil. The Canadian dollar on the weekly has been very strong, and it too has reached a pinnacle, and looking like we might be at the end of the rope on that one as well. So dropping to the daily, very strong push up there, but we might be done. We can see that we're right at resistance, and this could be a turnaround point for the Canadian dollar. The US dollar on the weekly also looking very weak overall, and I would think that this would continue going down. I would not expect price to break 91 going forward. Okay, so weakness in the US dollar. The euro on the weekly. Okay, do that again. Okay. Things are a little slow. Bear with me. Come on, euro. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, it's not changing. Come on, euro. Let's go. So I'm getting invalid. I have to refresh. I'm sorry. Let me do that again. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, let's go back to the weekly chart of the euro. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this looks a little different. Euro. Let me just make sure that this is so. Let me just redo this. Euro futures. Okay, let me take a look at the Canadian. Okay, so we're okay. All right, so I just thought that was looking a little odd there on the euro. Let me do this again. Okay, so here we go with the euro. Euro is taking a breather right now and looking looking for this to push to the upside going into this week. So some strength in the euro would imply and mean that the US dollar is in fact going to fall. So I'm looking for the euro to push back up to resistance for this week. So that would mean a weak US dollar. Okay, and let's take a look at the Swiss franc. The weekly, also Swiss franc is the same type of movement. And so again, I'd be looking for a push to the upside for this week in the Swiss franc, and looking like it wants to set up. And of course, this could break this low. It's totally possible for it to break that low. But so a little bit of weakness to start out, but I think that might turn around before the weeks out and start heading back. Okay, gold. Gold has also, again, been in quite a funk and still heading to the downside. So I'm not looking positively on gold at this point. And it's trying hard to turn around. You can see how many attempts it's made, a number of attempts, to turn around, but nothing has worked. And they can do that again this week. But again, it's going to be tough for it to break through this level. Okay, so not really liking gold at this point. Japanese yen on the weekly is very weak, and it's been weak now for a couple of weeks, and so you can see this is still heading down. We could see prices coming down to these areas, no problem whatsoever with Japanese yen weakness. Okay, so on our daily, yeah, we're indeed in a funk to the downside. Okay, so weakness in the Japanese yen. On the New Zealand dollar on the weekly, this has been very strong, but again, we have reached a very strong resistance area, but it still looks like there's strength in it, and we could push even higher. So let's go a little closer and take a look. And yes, indeed, it is pushing up and looking to go to the upside. So more strength going into New Zealand dollar this week. All right, let's take a look at the Mexican peso. The Mexican peso is taking a breather and pulling back. So I'm expecting further weakness in the Mexican peso. We could be challenged in this area on the way down. So weakness in the Mexican peso. Okay, let's take a look at the British pound. British pound has been super strong, but again, it too is getting very close to resistance. There's a little bit of room for another push to the upside, but again, we are very, very, very close to the end of this run. So on the daily, looking for possible pullback in the short term and maybe overall. It not liking the look of that anymore. We're very, very close to a major turn at this point. Okay, so a little bit of weakness perhaps in the GBP. Again, if the U.S. dollar continues its weakness, this could push, first of all, of the weakness, but we could push further as the week progresses if the U.S. dollar continues its fall. All right, let's take a look at silver. Silver is in a little funk. You can see that it's kind of sideways right now, very choppy. It's going to be difficult to ascertain which way this is going to go. So I'm just going to, my expectation is for further moves to the upside, but it could take a while to play out. The Russell 2000, this index has been just rocketing to the upside, and it looks like it might have reached its pinnacle at this point, but I don't think so. I think it still has another push to the upside to come, and so looking for plays to the upside in the Russell 2000. In the US 30, Dow Jones 30, also looking like we might have reached the pinnacle, but it too, when you come to a lower time frame, could also just be taking a little breather before it continues one more time. All bets are off, of course, if we start to see prices coming and breaking this level. We might be totally going down, but right now it's still looking like it is going to take a little bit of a breather first, but it will continue to the upside one more time. US 500, the S&P, you can see this S&P is starting to take that dip, but again, it too, let me just go to the weekly real quick. It too could be at the end of its move, but also could have one more push before everything falls apart, because we're very close to a pinnacle on this. So I would expect further moves back down to this area before we get that push. If price breaks this level, all bets are off and we're heading down. Okay, and if we're heading down, it's not going to be good. The U.S. Technology Group also looking for a little bit weak there on the weekly, so you can see everything kind of reached a pinnacle, and we could be indeed at the end of this move If that is the case, I would expect price to break through this level. And if, of course, if it breaks this low, that's it. We're heading down and in a hurry. All right. So expectation is for a bounce one more time. It's one more before the month of February is out. But again, keep your eyes open and be patient as you play. So profitable trading to everyone. Have a great week. Be safe. We're done now. Thank you.